Hello, I thought I would make a short little series of Nearpod tutorials to help get you started with your brand new premium district Nearpod subscription. So I'm going to jump over into a slide deck that I already have created. You might find that the best place to start with Nearpod is to take something that you already have and make it even better by adding on some interactive features of Nearpod. So Nearpod works very well with Google Slides. In Google Slides, you will need to install the Nearpod add-on. And you can do that by, in the top menu bar, clicking Addons and Get Add-ons. Once you click Get Add-ons, you will want to search for the Nearpod add-on. And actually, it's showing up right here. So I'm going to click on Nearpod for Google Slides. And I'm going to click Install. It'll ask you to give some permissions, so go ahead and grant permissions for what Nearpod is asking to connect to your Google account. Select your district account and allow Nearpod to interact with your Google Slide presentations. And then Nearpod will be installed. Every now and then you'll need to reinitialize Nearpod when you're working with it. So I have this slide deck that is not really interactive as it stands. I wouldn't be able to see a lot of feedback on my students' work or give any feedback on my students' work. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on add-ons. I've installed the Nearpod add-on. So I'm going to click Open Nearpod, and what you'll see that do is open a sidebar off to the right of all the different parts, all the different add-on slides of Nearpod. Every single one of these add-ons will add an additional slide to your deck to allow for interactivity. So as I scroll, you can see some of these features: a draw it, collaborate board, field trips, vocabulary, and so on. Nearpod has excellent tutorials on how to use every single one of these, and I will link those tutorial videos into my Google site. I will link them onto my YouTube page. Their tutorials will be far better than anything I could create, but I will just show you some of the basics of what it looks like to use an add-on. So as I scroll through my slide deck, I have a YouTube video embedded. I also have an activity embedded within that slide. Any links that you have attached to images within your slide deck are going to transfer right over into Nearpod. So I'm going to leave that link right there. However, I can take this video and make it a lot more interactive to work right within Nearpod, and I will show you how to do that. So I've actually taken this video and I've opened it within another tab, and I'm going to grab that link and I'm going to copy it, Control-C. So I've got the link for that video copied. Now, instead of having this video just embedded within a slide, I'm going to show you how you can embed it within Nearpod and add interactive questions along the way. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click on video. And by selecting an add-on, it's going to open up a pop-up box and allow you to make some choices about how you want your kids to interact with that slide. So this is actually going to add a new slide to my Nearpod. You can see I'm able to select videos from the Nearpod video library. I can select and copy and paste a YouTube link. I can upload a video, and if I have videos saved within Nearpod, they'll show up right here. So I can search within YouTube, or I think I can just copy and paste that link and search for it, and it should be able to easily find that video. There it is. Now I've selected that video, what is computer, and I'm going to save it. Now you can see there isn't a safe search filter because I did that web address. I can search directly within Nearpod if I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click save. And now what it's doing is it's embedding that video. It will be embedded within its own slide. And now you can see that that embedded video has an option for me to add an activity. So I can click and play through that video and decide at what point, maybe here, do I want the kids to pause and interact with it. So I'll click Add Activity. And I have the choice of adding an open-ended question or a multiple choice question. I'll click open-ended question. Now you can add an open-ended question all on your own. I can type in my question, tell about the different parts of the computer. And I can go ahead and save that, and you'll see once it saves in that video, I have one pause point, and I can click a little bit later if I want, and I can add another activity, maybe a multiple choice question. And I'll just add kind of a fake question. And I can add more multiple choice questions, or I can go ahead and just save. Gave me an error because I didn't tell what the correct answer is. And now I can save. And now you'll see I have 2 pause points within that video. I can also trim that video. Maybe there's just a small part of the YouTube video I want kids to see, not the whole thing. I can trim it down. And then once I'm sure it's the way I want, I can save it. I can always go back in and edit more later as well. So I'm not totally done. What you're going to see happen as it's saving is it is now adding an entirely new slide. So it didn't do anything to this original slide. The original slide is exactly the way it is, but now when you see this blue bar across the top, that means that there is Nearpod integration, and I can click edit this slide over on the right anytime I want to edit what's in that video. I would want to go back then and delete and edit this slide because you can see it would be the same video twice in a row. But this live link here will stay there. So I've shown you how to embed a video, and I've also shown you how the open-ended question works within Nearpod. On this slide, I have links to go to websites. Within Nearpod, you have the ability to embed a website right within the Nearpod, so they don't actually need to leave that Nearpod. They're going to interact with the website right within Nearpod. So I took this Tinker puppy adventure game, and I actually opened it up within another tab so I could grab that link. Control-C, I'll copy that link and come on back to my Nearpod. And I'm going to scroll down in my add-ons, and I'm going to choose web content. Again, this is going to add a completely separate slide to my Nearpod. I'm going to paste, Control-V, paste that URL from the Puppy Adventure Hour of Code and click Save. And as it loads, you will see, again, it's going to insert that slide exactly where I was. I just have to scroll down a little bit to see it. So there's my web content slide that I just added. It's still loading a little bit. Here it comes. And when students access this, they'll be accessing it right through Nearpod, and it will stay right within the Nearpod interface rather than having them jump from tab to tab to tab. You can see that the original slide was not affected. I can go back and delete that original slide if I only want this to show up. So they don't need to click on anything. That slide's going to load for them directly to that website. So you're in control of where they're going on the web. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you to keep this tutorial short, just focusing on using the add-on within slides, is the Flipgrid integration. Kids can interact with Flipgrid right within your Nearpod deck instead of having to access multiple things. So instead of having a slide like this, I'm going to click on the Flipgrid integration button right here. And again, you're going to see that pop up, add or edit your slide, and it's going to be asking me for 2 different things. It's going to be asking me for the link to the teacher interface and also the direct join link for the topic. So kids will be able to directly go to that Flipgrid. So I've brought up that Flipgrid. I kept this pop-up in case you didn't know that Flipgrid has added Google Classroom integration. You can import your whole roster to create a group, which can be pretty cool. I'm going to click the X on that though, because I'm going to access my original Hour of Code Flipgrid. I will click here and I'll click that I want to share that topic. So this is the copy link to share with students. So let's click copy and we'll go back to Nearpod and we're going to paste that join link right there. Then I also need to go back and get the topic URL from the browser, and they're showing you an example of what that looks like. I'm going to click the X right here, and I'm going to grab that from right here in the web address bar. So I'm going to copy, go back to Nearpod, Control V, paste, and I'm going to add. And just like the previous slides, you're going to see a new slide added. You see the blue bar across the top that says this is a Nearpod slide with Flipgrid integration. And this is what I'm seeing on the teacher side. I can see 0 responses. There's actually more responses than that. I have to scroll down. It always jumps up. You can see that my original Flipgrid slide is here, but this new integrated Nearpod slide is also there. So as I scroll back through my deck, I can see my slide deck can include regular slides that have links in it. And I don't need to add Nearpod integration to every single slide. And you see whenever there's a blue bar across the top, that means that something interactive from the sidebar has been added to affect that slide and make it more interactive with Nearpod. Thanks for listening, and I will add a few additional topics for you to take a look at, along with links from Nearpod that will help you get started using the different add-ons.